Hello, everybody. This is Andy Couturier with theopening.org, and here we are at our Santa Cruz location of The Opening, and we have another 5-minute writing tip for you today. And this is about what writing block isn't, or writing block isn't only one thing. So, someone called me today and was interested in finding out about our book completion group, and by the way, I offer consultations anytime you want to have a 20-minute free consultation by phone. Just send me an email to theopening.org. We'll schedule that. No obligation, and I like to try to help anybody who gives a ring. So she's like, well, what do you do when someone has writer's block? And first of all, I say, I don't even focus on the word block. And the reason I don't focus on the word block is because it gives energy to this problem, right? And you're focusing on block. So actually, I focus on where do you find pleasure in your writing, and where do you find the reason that you're writing, and when is it easy for you to write, and what ways can you increase the amount of time that you spend writing. So all of those are questions that you could write down and do a little journal write on. But I also don't have a one size fits all, because in my 20 years of teaching, writing's 22 now, I found that there's all kinds of different patterns that people get themselves into. So someone might write and write and write and write and write and never read back what they write, and it's just kind of adding and adding, and then they get overwhelmed if they do, or they're afraid of looking back at it, and that's a form of not completing something. And that's not a bad thing if that's what your goal is to just write in the experience and to be writing in the moment. But if your goal is to finish something or give something to someone, well, in some ways that could be a block. But again, it's not the greatest word to use. Sometimes people have this idea in their mind of what their book is going to be, but the reality of what they write never compares to that chorus of angels, soprano angels, singing to them about what their book could be. And as a result, it's never something that gives them happiness or joy when they reread it, because it's got to be so incredible, because they had this so incredible feeling once. Another thing that people get into is like, well, I have to be inspired. And that's okay. I don't want to laugh at that, but I think that if you take the opposite of approach and just continue to write and write and write, even if you don't feel inspired, or even if you don't think it's any good, actually something surprising can happen. You'll find something interesting, and once you find something interesting, you can figure out why that happened, or what it felt like when that was happening, or what are the words that are part of that, and go deeper into that. And my favorite quote on this is a Picasso quote. And if you know anything about his art, he was incredibly prolific. He said, I don't know what inspiration is, but if it ever finds me, if it ever visits me, I hope it finds me working. I don't know what inspiration is, but if it ever visits me, I hope it finds me working. So you don't need to be inspired, and you don't actually have to be perfect. Another thing that happens to people when they're trying to finish the book is they keep adding and adding a new chapter to it, or they resequence it, or they move it around. And again, that's another way of not finishing. It can be fun, it can be great, but just naming what it is that is your issue, and there's a lot of varieties to this. There's intermittency, that where you sort of put it down, and then you think, oh, I tried, but then I stopped, and therefore, oh no, I'll always keep stopping. Well, I stop and start. That's my method. I work on other things for a while, work on my property, travel, teach mostly, and then I write a lot. Just start again, start again, start again. It's not the stopping that's the problem, even if it's like a life emergency. The issue is to restart again and again. Well, there's a lot of other approaches we take, but that's why in our book completion groups, everything is individualized. I talk to you, I find out what kind of things are difficult for you, and then I help you with some different strategies, and then you come back to me next week and we see how those work, and maybe we tweak them, or maybe I find out more about who you are. Okay, well, I hope that gives you some help, and yeah, don't stay in the one right way to write, and you'll be good. See you later. Bye.